सलामत खुदा लाए। अकबर ने कहा जख्म कलेजे का छुपा दो, अम्मा मेरी जीती हो तो एक बार मिला दो। दम हाथों में जाता है जब गोद का पाला, फिर जिंदा नहीं रहती है वो माशहे वाला। ये बार गिरा है मेरे मौला नहीं उठता, ये बार गिरा है मेरे मौला नहीं उठता। माओ से जवाब बेटे का सदमा नहीं उठता। अकबर ने कहा जख्म कलेजे का छुपा दो, अम्मा मेरी जीती हो तो एक बार मिला दो। घर जाने की हालत तो नहीं ऐसी हमारी, वो जख्म लगा कारी के दम लेना है भारी। सर ऊंचा किया आपका बतलाऊंगा बाबा, सर ऊंचा किया आपका बतलाऊंगा बाबा। अम्मा के कदम चूमने घर जाऊंगा बाबा। अकबर ने कहा जख्म कलेजे का छुपा दो, अम्मा मेरी जीती हो तो एक बार मिला दो। कहना के बेसर आपने शब्बीर पे वारा, मकबूल करे आपकी कुर्बानी को ज़हरा। अम्मा हो मुबारक ये बड़ा काम हुआ है, अम्मा हो मुबारक ये बड़ा काम हुआ है। सहरा की कनीजों में तेरा नाम हुआ है। अकबर ने कहा जख्म कलेजे का छुपा दो, अम्मा मेरी जीती हो तो एक बार मिला दो। अम्मा मेरी जीती हो तो एक बार मिला दो। मैं मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु
सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद।
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि कमा हुवा अहलु والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وخاتم النبيين أبي القاسم محمد
اللهم صل على محمد
وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. قال الله تبارك وتعالى: من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فسادا في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا ومن أحياها كما أحيا الناس جميعا صلوات محمد وعلى محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
My topic was, as announced before, how to have a successful life from the aspect of Quran and Ahlul Bayt al-Islam. I've recited one verse from Holy Quran that says, "Man qatala nafsan bighayri nafsin aw fasadan fil ardh faka'annama qatala an-nasa jami'a wa man ahyaha faka'annama ahya an-nasa jami'a." This is a part of a verse that says that, "Oh, you human being," this verse is not talking only to Muslims, to all human beings. Whoever damage and kill a person is like he has killed a nation. And a person, وَمَنْ أَحْيَاهَا, if a person who give a life better or change someone's life, is like he has given a life to a nation. Once upon a time, I was reciting this verse in Germany, in one of the church in city of Wiesbaden near to Frankfurt. When I recited this verse and I gave the translation, so the preacher and the HR head of that Wiesbaden, he came over and he said, "This is the first time that Imam of Muslims has come to our church. As very nice, we are happy, and he is introducing new Islam." So I stopped him. I told him, "Brother, it's not a new Islam. This is Islam of 1,400 years ago. This is a Quran. It's not my Quran. It's not a new Quran. It's a Quran that descended on the Prophet. This is the verse of that Quran that descended on the Prophet." This is only misunderstanding that maybe you don't hear directly to Muslims, you hear by the channels, and then the misunderstanding comes. So you see, Islam gives idea to give a life to not only one person, to human being, to nations. It is encouraging us that when you are giving a life to one person, it means you are giving a life to a nation. So don't think that it's a small word that you give a pathway to someone to come on the right way. You see, so my topic, remember my topic is how to have a successful life from the aspect of a Quran. How we can have a successful life. One of the main goal of a successful life is that we have a dreams. You see, some people, they think that, "Oh, wow, I will grow up, inshallah, I'll become a doctor. I'll become an engineer. I'll become, IT engineer. I'll become, a pilot." These are the dreams that we have because we want to become successful in our life. And it's our right. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that do planning. So when we do planning in mind, and we say that inshallah after 20 years, I will finish my university and I will become a doctor and I will become a surgeon, I will become this and that. How? Because we are planning. Today, I want to explain that how our planning, our dreams come true. You know, one of the main important point of being successful is a planning, management, means dreams that we have in our mind. But these dreams, how they come true, this is very important. Today, I will give you some very important point from aspect of Islam and Quran, that when you're planning, how this planning comes true. Before I start, there are some important points I will let you know now. Once upon a time, there was a great scholar. Now look. Once upon a time, there was a great scholar called Ayatollah Babahani, very famous. He was Arif also, mystic, very famous. Once he promised with his student in class, his students, they were not like kids, they were also great scholars, in his class. So once Ayatollah Babahani promised one of his students that whoever will die first will come to another's dream and will tell and give the report of a first week in the grave. It's a very big deal, The student and the teacher, they promised whoever will die first will give the first week report to another's dream. Well, then after a while, after some days, after some months, his student left the city and he went to another city and for some other works. Behind, after 6 days, he got a news that his teacher passed away. So he was surprised. In that time, there wasn't the mobile and WhatsApp going on and IT, no, nothing. Well, after 6 days, he came to understand that his teacher passed away. He rushed and he reached on the grave. He did dua and did salah, did alhamd, and then asked teacher that, oh, my teacher, do you remember we promised something? But still you've not come to let me know, to tell me what happened in the grave. Just while he was talking, he got a snap and he saw a dream that Ayatollah Babani has come in his dream. He said, look, we promised 1 week. 1 week is 7 days, not 6 days. But you seems to be in a rush. So let me to give you the report of 6 days. If you would wait, I will give you the report of 7 days. But let's just, okay, I give you the report of 6 days. He starts from here. He says, look, what we are planning, I'm talking about the planning that comes true. He said, when I was child, he's talking to his student. When I was child, I was dreaming that I will become a great scholar. So I did plan, I did, and alhamdulillah, become a great scholar. But there's another thing that is, as I recited in one verse, the man ahyaha faga'annama ahya nas jamiya. He said, I did everything. So when it was time to leave the world, the death angel came and he asked me, I said, yes, okay, I'm ready, because I was happy because I've done a lot of work. I've done a lot of planning. So he got my soul and collected and got from my feet. There was no pain. I said, it's okay. I got and died there. My family started to cry. My soul, my spirit was talking, saying to my family that you don't worry. I have done a lot of work. I prayed a lot of things. I've done, I've written many books. I've done this, I've done that. So I am going to a place where they will welcome me. Why you worried? But they were not listening to me and they were crying on and on. And the city also, the people together, they cried a lot. The great scholar passed away. They got me ready. They buried me and they left me in a grave alone. They went back home and the windows opened. Angels came. They said, okay, gentlemen, great scholar, please go ahead. What you've done? They opened the file. So I started to say that, yes, I did, this work, I did this work. My job was this. I was, mashallah, I've written many books, on and on. I told them a lot of things. But I saw that there's no any satisfaction on their face. There's no any smile. And they're looking at me, looking at file. I finished. They said, that's enough. That's all. I said, yeah, that's all. Means many books and this and that. That's all. So they said, that's all. And they were closing my file. I understood that there's something wrong going on, because a lot of job I've done, but there's no smiling, no well done, nothing. They're closing my file. It means that they're going to keep me here maybe for a long time. and maybe there's no any door open for me to go to Jannah. So while they were closing file, I remember something. I said, yeah, one thing more. They said, okay, please go ahead. I said to them that, yeah, once upon a time I was crossing from the market and I saw the crowd of people, they are beating one person. So I went there, I said, what's going on? They said, well, this guy, this man, he borrowed us money and he's not giving us back. We borrowed him money, we gave him money for example, a month, but he's not giving us back. So when we're asking him to give us money back, he's saying that, okay, tomorrow, maybe after 1 week, but he says that I don't have. So the great scholar, me, I said to them that, yeah, he's telling true because he's the one that he comes always for prayers. I know him, he's not lying. When he's saying that I don't have, it means he doesn't have. Leave him, give him time. They said, no, we're not going to give him time. We're going to beat him, we're going to kill him. So I said, okay, leave him. I'm going to pay on behalf. And I paid. You see, when I said so the angel smiled. The file again opened. You see, the planning comes through when these points from Quran, from Islam, from Ahlul Bayt, we also consider. Don't think that we are the one that we do planning, we reach on the destination. No, not at all. Sometimes it happens, God stops you. Something important come up, something accident happen, they destroy your life. So, point number one that I want to say, how our dreams, topic is how we can have a successful life. And to have a successful life is planning. Now, how we can have a successful planning? Number one, planning from you relies on God. When you do plan, say, Inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you help me. Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, you help me. I've done planning. I will go through, I will go and work on it. But inshallah, you help me also. If you don't say, something maybe happen. You see, once Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, he got sick. And then he came back home and was saying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, give me shafa, give me treatment, give me treatment, give me treatment. So Allah sent a messenger that goes and tell him that I will give you shafa, but first do planning. Just go to doctor, see a doctor, get a medicine, get a something, then I will put a shafa also to give you. So Hazrat Musa, the prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is called Kalimullah. Kalimullah also, if he stays at home and say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, give me shafa, 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 nothing comes. You sit at home, we sit at home, say, Allah, give me good job, good job, good job, nothing happened. Oh Allah, give me good degree, nothing happened. Because you are staying at home. Go and work hard and hard, not too much hard. Someone asked a person that how many hours do you work in a day? He said, I work 25 hours. So the guy said, man, you know, a day and night come together, it comes 24 hours. How it comes 25? He said, actually, I get up 1 hour earlier, early morning. So it counts 25 hours. Sometimes you become a robot. Work down to dark. It's also all right. You know, Imam Jafar Sadiq ﷺ says, that divide your time in 3 categories. One of them is for your job. One of them is for yourself. And one of them is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For yourself, you, your family, your friends, your entertainment. One is a job, means risk halal. You earn, you get an income, but halal. Like 7 hours, 8 hours you work. And then one is for worship also, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you see. So this, number one, that do planning, but relies on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There was one man in the time of the Prophet. He was very famous, and people knew that he's a very sharp, always do planning, and work on a time, very punctual guy. And there was a time of a war of a Khaybar. Have you heard about, war of Uhud, the second biggest war in the time of the Prophet. So he came to understand, he came to know that, yeah, the war is going to happen, which is called war of Uhud. So he came to the prophet and said that I will come with you. He was planning that I will come with the prophet in the army of the prophet, and inshallah I will get martyrdom. And because I've intention niyyah for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I will work for the prophet, I will work for Islam, so I will go to Jannah inshallah. This is the plan, right? So he came in the war and was very also good in the fighting, was going ahead. Just while he was going ahead, he saw a very good donkey. And he said, wow, this is very good. If I fight and if I get a ganima, so this will be for me. So from that moment on, he started to fight, not because of Allah, not because of the planning that he did. He diverted into the donkey's planning, and he died. People, companions of the prophet, came to the prophet, said, oh my prophet, that guy was fighting, alhamdulillah, he is martyred, and we hope so that he is entered into Behesh, in paradise. Prophet said, no, he's not entering paradise. They said, how it happened? He gave his life. Prophet said, yes. Up to here, he was giving life for Islam, for me, for all human beings. But from then on, he was giving his life because of the donkey. So he left, but without any intention, without any planning. So you see, always be careful that when you do plan, but rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ask Allah to help us to be on that planning. Number 2, planning from you. It's a very important planning. Planning and intention, niyyah, from you, but power from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How? You see, sometimes you do niyyah. Look, Hazrat Joseph alayhi salam. I gave you first the example of his brothers. 11 brothers. They did planning. They came together on a one platform. They promised. They worked together. This is planning, you see, and dreams that we take out our brother Joseph out of our family, and then the family will concentrate on us. What they not did, they did everything. They put Joseph in the well. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the niyyah of Hazrat Yusuf was not like that. You see, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped him to come out of the well, and not just helped him to be successful, Allah made him the king of Egypt as well. How? And then these once upon a time, after a long time, when the brothers came to Egypt, 11 brothers, and the father, Hazrat Yaqub, when they came to the Egypt and asked him for sorry, they said, sorry, we understood that you are Joseph, and we made a big mistake. The ayah, the verse of the Quran says that Joseph said, Al-Yom is now, from now on, I forgive you. He didn't think about it, that, oh, you did very bad job with me. You really gave me a hard time. I'm not going to forgive you now. Let me to think about it. You see, what happens in our community, in our school, in our, I don't know, where you're working. You do something, your friend do something, your friend does mistake, and he said, I'm sorry, yaar, I made a mistake. You forgive him. You know, Hazrat Yusuf is forgiving to brothers who did everything against Hazrat Yusuf, but he didn't, for one moment, didn't think about it. He said, I forgave you, that's all. You see? So when something happened to you in a school, in community, in somewhere, and someone asks you, sorry, I made a mistake, you forgive. Think, Hazrat Yusuf also forget. Prophet Sunnah. So, number 2, niyyah from you, but power from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What they did, 11 brothers, but the power was not with them. Power was with Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam. Once upon a time, there was one young was a kid, and let's say 15 years old boy. He went for hunting. It's a true story. He went for hunting in a jungle, and going in different parts of the jungle. Once he got trapped in a lake of water, and there was a tub of water somewhere. He got stuck there. He could not come out. So he started to shout, help, help, help. Nobody was around in jungle, forest. And there was one farmer, very simple life, very simple farmer. He was crossing, and he heard the sound, help, help, help. He rushed there and he saw that a kid is stuck there. He helped him. He put his life in a danger. He helped him to get it out. He appreciated the child, and the kid appreciated this farmer, and he left. Farmer came to his own, the house and finished. The next day, the farmer saw that a very big person, seems to be a high class person, with some servants and a type of a police. They are crossing from the road, and they stopped near to his house. And a high-class person came over to this farmer, and he said, "I've come to appreciate you. Yesterday what you did, he was my child, and you gave a new life to my child. If you were not there, maybe he would die, but you gave a life to my child. So I'm appreciating you, and I'm here to help you whatever you say. I'm here to give you big reward. I'm here to give you big treasury." Farmer said, "Look, whoever you are seems to be a very high-class person, but what I did, it was for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not for you. I did to save your child's life because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see now, look, he dealt with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not with the expecting something. But he said, sorry, I understand you did for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but getting reward is not a bad. I am ready to give you a big treasury, please, get it. And this is enough for your life, for your children as well." He was not accepting. While they were having a dialogues, the son of a farmer came from home out, and he saw that there's a discussion between a high-class person and with my dad. So he came over and he said, "What's going on?" This gentleman understood that this kid is the son of this farmer. So this gentleman said to the farmer, "Look, you saved my life, my son's life. Let me to save your son's life. How? I'm ready to pay for your child to study in a good school, in a college, university, and whatever going on. I will pay everything. Please do accept. At least this accept." Farmer said, "Okay, I accept that you help my child to study." That man, there was a king of a United Kingdom long time back. I will tell you now. He was helping this farmer's son. He went to the college. He went to the university. He became the successful person. And once he created a medicine which is a very unique in a medical field, penicillin. His name was Philippine, and I think so. I forgot his name, but it's also history that you read. Creator of penicillin is this child whose father helped that man to save for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and without any intention, without any expecting anything. You see, this is a very special thing. When you do niyyah, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help you. So it becomes two, right? Number one, do niyyah, do planning, rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number two, do planning and do niyyah, but ask Allah to power you, to give you power. Number three is that do planning, but live on God, destined on God. Sometimes you don't know what happens. You're planning, but say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, "Oh my God, I did my best, but you helped me to get it to the last point, to the destination." This is very important. Once upon a time, there was one person, he came to Ayatollah Nukhudki. I don't know, have you heard about Ayatollah Nukhudki? He's one of the great scholars who's buried in the holy shrine of Haram Imam Reza, Mashhad. And he was one of the very famous scholars of his time. Means about 80 years ago, 90 years ago. It was about a century ago. Yeah, and then a parenthesis, I tell you something more about Ayatollah Nukhudki. Then I tell you a person who came and asked Ayatollah Nukhudki, that great scholar, I want to ask you 3 questions, and please help me, give me 3 solutions. What was his questions? Number one, he said, I want to marry, but successful marriage. Number two, that I want to become a rich, means a healthy person and a wealthy person. Number three, that I want to get a good job as well. So 3 questions, solutions he's asking Ayatollah Nukhudki. Who is Ayatollah Nukhudki? I tell you something in parenthesis. Someone, he came to Ayatollah Nukhudki and said he was a very good scholar and he used to see behind what's going on, philosophy, what's in your mind as well. Someone came to Ayatollah Nukhudki and said to him that, my wife is sick since long time, since many years. She's on the bed. Do dua, give me something, give me dua. What I do? Did I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give shafa'a to my wife? So Ayatollah Nukhudki said that, okay, please get a debt. There were debts on the temple. So Ayatollah Nukhudki said, please, one debt. So this man said that Ayatollah is not in the mood, maybe, he's not in the mood. He's not giving me dua, he's not giving me any verses or something, he's asking to eat a debt. He ate. Again, he said, Allah, sorry, if you're in the mood, can you give me dua or something for my wife? So he said, again, one, please get a debt. He had the debt. And then he left. He said that, Ayatollah is not in a good mood today. Anyhow, next time I will come. He got up. He was leaving the office and the house of Ayatollah Nukhudki. Ayatollah Nukhudki told him that go now to your wife and knock the door and you will see the results of a date. He was surprised. So, wow, I'm eating that. My wife is sick there at home. And what's the connection going on? He rushed to the home and he knocked the door. His wife opened the door. Wife that was on the bed since many years. He was surprised that how it come. He said, what happened to you? How you could, stand and you open the door? She said, well, just for 15 minutes ago, the time they was eating that. I felt that I'm feeling okay and energy, and I got up, there was no pain, nothing, so I'm feeling okay. You see, this was Ayatollah Nukhudki. The great scholars, I was telling to someone just day before you started that, here we have everything. I've been in different countries, I see, mashallah, everything is around. Our mu'mineen, they are established good. But what I don't see here, sorry to say, is not a calmness. No sukoon, no aramesh, When I go to Qom and Mashhad and Karbala, but there's something else. So how Qom comes, how Mashhad, because these great scholars. Some of them know a story. There was one muballigh, one preacher, when he did his job in Ramadan, and he got one pocket, after 1 month of Ramadan. The center maybe gave him a pocket in Iran. I'm telling the story of Iran. He came back to Haram of Haram of Hazrat Masume before he go to his home. So he said, I say salam to Bibi Hazrat Masume, then I go to home. He came to Haram. He did salah, he did prayers, he recited salawat and everything. And then he was leaving Haram for going home. On the way, a beggar came and bothered him, please help me, help me. He also said, okay, whatever he got in the pocket was $1,000. He put on the hand, he said, it's okay, you go. He helped him for a whole month of Ramadan. He gave $1,000, he gave him, that's it, finished. Then he was going back home. On the way, he thought that I go and see Ayatollah Bahauddini, great scholar who's buried in Haram of Hazrat Ma'asumim. So it was on the way. He said, okay, let's see Ayatollah Bahauddini also. I say salam and give him report of Ramadan. Then I go to home. Thank you, brother. He came to Ayatollah Bahauddini's home. He did salam and gave a report of his whole month of Ramadan and finished and was going home. When he stood and was leaving the home, Ayatollah Bahauddini and came with him and he said, well done on you. What you did was very good job. What I am giving you is a double than that. Please accept from me. He was surprised that Ayatollah Bahauddini, how he came to understand that I've given one envelope to a beggar, and how he came to understand. He said, he's written in a book that me only Allah knew, and the guy who gave me the pocket was only $1,000. It was between me and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How Ayatollah Bahauddini came to understand that it's a 1,000. Then he's saying there's a double than that. I fast, I open it, I said it's $2,000. You see? So these are the scholars, they did plan, they had a dreams, but with the reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And number four, do plan. It's a very important that you have to do plan, but ask Allah to make you successful. I told you we do planning a lot, and suddenly something happened to you, and you cannot get to the destination. And sometimes you can get a shortcut. Allah gives you a shortcut. There was one man who came to Imam Rada sallallahu alayhi salatu wasalam. He came to Haram, and he wanted to ask Imam Raza to help him to make. Assalamu alaikum. He came to Imam Raza and said to him, actually he wanted to marry, he was willing to marry, but he was trying to ask Imam Raza to help him to marry. So he was shying, and he came to Imam Raza and said, Imam, actually, I want to have a child. Well, he said that how I can say to Imam Raza that I want to marry, and this is shying, very shy person. So he said, Imam, I want to have a child. Child means Imam will give a wife, Imam will make everything arrangement, then have a child. He was crying and asking Imam Raza that Imam, want to give me a child. Just suddenly he saw there was an orphan center, came to Imam Raza's shrine. There were 2 children they wanted to give to someone. They saw that this man is a very humble man. They said asking Imam Raza for a child, so they gave him one child on this spot. He said, Imam Raza, I want a child, but not this child. This is someone else's child. I want to have my own child. So the philosophy of the dua is to say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what do you want? Don't tell him that, Allah, give me money, I want to go to Hajj. Give me money, then I get a ticket, then I go to Hajj. Allah, give me money, I want to book a house, then I want to marry. Allah, give me money, I want to get a car. No, say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make my life successful. That's it. Allah, send me for Hajj. That's it. Allah knows how to send you Hajj. Now, give you money, or ask someone to take you to Hajj. Ask someone to get a chance as a lottery to go to Hajj. Whatever is dependent on Allah. You don't get interrupted in the job of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, Ahl-Bayt said that, do plan. Ask Allah to make you successful. Ask Allah. Don't give him a route. Don't tell him the way that how I want to become successful. So my friends, I asked you that inshallah, my topic was how we can become a successful. And in successful, one of the important things was planning. But planning has got a strategy. Today I told you 4 strategies. I hope so that we follow these strategies and we can get a success, inshallah. Today is Muharram going on, and when Muharram comes, we remember Imam Hussein alayhi salam. We remember his companions. We remember his family who sacrificed their lives for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They had a planning. They had a dreams. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, when he used to see Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he used to become happy and used to kiss on his neck, because he knew that one day will come, that Imam Hussein will come on the land of Karbala, and he will sacrifice, he will give his life, not just his own life, his family life for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they did. The first martyr of Karbala mission is a Muslim bin Aqil. Usually we say the martyrdom story of Muslim bin Aqil on the first day. But let me explain today Muslim bin Aqil, because he's the first martyr of the mission of Karbala. And he's a cousin of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam. Muslim bin Aqil was ordered by Imam Hussein to go to Kufa. And Imam Hussein was planning to come to Kufa to establish a government. And Muslim bin Aqil came to Kufa on the order of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And he was not worried about himself. He was worried about Imam Hussein alayhi salam. He came to Kufa, and people, they surrounded him, they welcomed him. And after a while, when they came to understand that Ibn Ziyad has come to Kufa, they left him. When Muslim was praying in the mosque, there were much crowd behind him. Just for the next prayer, when he saw there was nobody, he became alone. He's a messenger. He's the representative of Imam Hussein in Kufa now, but nobody is supporting him. Nobody is helping him. When he came out of the mosque, there were nobody on the street. Everybody is at home, and Muslim bin Aqil is alone. He's surrounding and coming in the street. He saw nobody's helping him. Nobody's asking him that Muslim, where you are. Muslim, we are with you. Muslim, come to our home. No, nobody's asking. Muslim is walking alone. He came and sat on a stairs of someone's house. There was an old lady. She was opening the door to find her son. Once she opened the door and shouted and calling her son, but her son still is outside. And she saw that a stranger is sitting just behind the door, beside the door. So she said that, oh, stranger, please go back to your home. The conditions of Kufa are not good. Why you're sitting here? It's dangerous for me also, dangerous for you. She closed the door. Again, after a while, she again opened the door. Again, saw the stranger sitting there. She said, why don't you hear me? Why don't you go back to your home? Why are you sitting here? Muslim bin Aqil looked at the old lady and saw, oh, my aunt, old lady, where I go, nobody is here for me. Nobody is supporting me. I don't have a family here. I don't have a son here. I don't have my family and a house here where I go. Do you want me to help you to give you paradise? Old lady said, yeah, sure, why not? Who you are, then you give paradise. Muslim bin Aqil said that I am Muslim bin Aqil, who invited you all and you left me alone. I am not worried about myself. I am worried about my Agha, my Hussein, who's coming towards the Kufa. I want to inform him that you done so with me. So Imam Hussein, please stop where you are.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد